an incredible day. Today was uh, today was Daredevil season two's launch, and it came out of the gate like gangbusters. I have to say, it was something that was eagerly awaited, and it is definitely something that we did a little Twitter launch party, watch party today, and hopefully you all got to read our tweets as myself and Kahuna and Philip 2.0 were watching, or were excuse me, were tweeting about what we were seeing in the show. If you got to finish it, great. We know how great it was. I myself didn't get to finish, but 2 episodes. I got 2 episodes left before the season's over. We all are at various stages of watching the show, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about it because honestly, it's dominating. Twitter is dominating Facebook. So let's go ahead and talk about it, guys. What were your thoughts of season two as from the jump? So let's start with Philip 2.0. You were up. Actually, yeah. Let's start with you, Philip 2.0. You were on
Yeah,
Coach
yeah,
Junkies.
man. I couldn't wait, man. I literally watched. I got up at 3 a.m., watched it, then I fell back asleep again. But to talk about the show, is high octane. It's the same as the first season, but a little bit more. They added more action. More. You see more Matt Murdock dealing with situations, kind of like he always deal with because the lifestyle he's living. So it's like you kind of see him getting torn apart from both sides of what's what I'm looking for, of his path in life, like being Daredevil and being Matt Murdock the lawyer. So it's definitely cool how they did it. And then the Punisher just brought a whole other element in it. And I think John Bernthal played a hell of a role with the Punisher. Like, that is the Punisher.
Um, Yayan, you got to see a few episodes. What did you think about the show this so far from what you've seen?
It had my curiosity, at first, but now it definitely has my attention because
Well played.
with the Punisher, with the Punisher in there, I'm just like the way he challenges Daredevil. I really like that so far. They're developing story and seeing how they're kind of two different sides. They're on the same side but not kind of things.
They
I'll
approach
say
it
that
in two
much.
different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the same goal, but they do different ways. I like it so far. I'm only on the third episode,
Hmm.
but I'm so excited to see more. And I'm just so giddy and I love it.
As you put it, you had a cheergasm when the show opening came on. Can you describe a little bit what is a cheergasm exactly?
Okay, so when I watched the opening to Daredevil, obviously, I've seen the first 13 episodes of
Hmm.
the first season and
Hmm.
then these three, and my reaction is no different from the first time I've ever seen it. It's just so, like, I'm so giddy, it's like shaking all over. It's like for your ass children, it's gonna be nasty, but it's something else. I
Can
just I
you
just have an exciting feeling all over
well
anytime I see the opening,
can you can you
the
can you kind of
music, all of it.
can you kind of visually reenact
No,
what a
I will
cheergasm
not
looks like?
perform a
Oh,
teargasm
come on, why not? It's
screen.
Friday. You know what you show 'em what it looks
No.
like. I mean, is
It's
it like
messy. I
it's
just don't want to see it.
it's
We want
messy?
to
Look,
clean up after
Really?
that.
you don't want to
Really?
see that. Like, I wouldn't even be able to finish the show. It's my hair would be all over the place. It's like sweat pouring. It gets nasty. It gets nasty. But everybody has fun. It's pleasure for all. Oh, that's the name of
Pleasure,
it.
pleasure for all.
That's
Okay.
hardcore
All
right
right
there.
then. All right then.
The fact that Krusty says it gets messy.
Yeah. She of the
Oh,
musty crusty
man.
elbow
Oh
gamer
man.
tag. The musty crusty elbow gamer tag. She would know something about something being. Anyway, let's move on.
She
Who said that?
understands.
It was.
She
It
understands.
makes you spent yet satisfied. Who said that?
Yeah, GQ said that earlier. So he described it as you spent yet satisfied. Is that fairly accurate there, Miao Yin? Is that accurate depiction of it? Spent yet satisfied.
Right on.
Right on.
All
Okay.
parties,
All right.
even
Kahuna.
witnessing it.
Yeah, Kahuna, you like me got and Philip 2.0, we got the furthest in the season out of the group. I'm obviously I'm 11 episodes deep. You're pretty much in the same boat. Um, and Philip 2.0 also got pretty far, but not as far as we did. Obviously, they didn't really play up. They didn't play up the Kingpin very much as like factoring into this season. But my God, did Vincent D'Onofrio turn it out? Turn it out. I mean, I didn't expect to see the Kingpin. I didn't even expect him to even be in, you know, or factor into the story as much as he has. But man, did he ever have some key scenes this season? Give us your thought of not only D'Onofrio's performance, but the season so far.
That's exactly. It was a surprise because I wasn't expecting. You know, they never said anything about him was going to be in the show. It was just a surprise. I mean, when you see that scene, when you first see him, and it's like, dude, like that's the Kingpin. That's Fisk.
Right, right.
And it was just like, I mean, you know, D'Onofrio's his acting. You know, his acting is awesome. So
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. You know what keeps cracking me up though is that his Wilson Fisk voice is the same exact voice that he used in Men in Black when he was playing the
Yes.
little alien.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's like when he started talking, I was like, dude, he sounds just like the little cockroach from
Yeah, he does.
Men in Black. So that was funny, but I mean, the show was awesome. I mean, it's hard to talk about it without spoiling anything for somebody who hasn't seen it yet, or like Lena who's on like 2.5 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lena,
I mean,
you guys keep talking about Lena. I don't see anybody named Lena.
She did finish. She finished the third. She finished the third episode, right? Miayan, it was the third episode you finished, or you finished.
I have like 10 minutes left in the third episode.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, we talked about Kingpin. We talked about Fisk. We talked about how D'Onofrio did a fantastic job in the story. But let's move on to the other character. Not the Punisher, but let's talk about a little bit about Elektra. They're talking about her in the show a little bit. Jules is in the chat. He says Elektra was soft. Do you guys agree with that, Philip, Miaoyan, and
Oh my God, not at all.
No.
Jennifer Garner, the Elektra was soft, but not this.
Exactly.
This one, she is wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think I tweeted out it was a certain scene. I said at least it wasn't like that terrible scene they did
In the park. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I mean, I think she really pulled off. And the funny thing is, I don't know too much about Elektra as far as her personality goes. I know she's an assassin, but I didn't know the way she portrayed it made me think, oh damn, I gotta pick up some Elektra books now and see how she really is. You know, because I mean, from you, I don't know how she really. You told me earlier, she did do some stupid thing as a youth, but as far as being that craziness and willing to do whatever it takes to get a job done, I didn't notice it. I didn't know that about her.
I'll talk about it a little bit. Emo, is she better than Garner? Yes, she's much better than Garner. Much better than Garner. Elodie Young as Elektra was, as I think we all agreed that she was going to be a really great casting, especially based off of her performance as Jinx in G.I. Joe Retaliation. And she did not disappoint at all at any stage of the game. I mean, she played Elektra like pretty much Frank Miller kind of depicted her in the Man Without Fear short series that he did in the 80s. When she was younger, she was rich, but she was bored, she was spoiled, so she would like be reckless and she would get in a lot of trouble. So and that played out as we saw in the series. But you could tell she could handle herself, but she was like mischievous, like she would steal cars that didn't belong to her and just go for thrilling joyrides. But as we learned, as the season went on, things had a deeper meaning behind a lot of the things that she was doing. And of course, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that's watching the stream right now that hasn't gotten that far.
I'll say one thing about it.
Yeah,
I'll say one thing where I saw her wickedness was when there's a scene where she brings Matt somewhere as kind of a present. And the
Oh
way that you
yeah.
see her enjoying something,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and
Yeah.
like the more it went on, the more she enjoyed it, and I was like, she is
Like
twisted.
no, like seriously, she was looking like she was more aroused by the second.
Like she
You
was
know, like
having a Miaoyan
a
cheergasm.
cheergasm. Exactly. Exactly. No, I mean seriously, that scene you were absolutely right. I know the scene you're talking about. Just from even when she was destroying things, throwing china on the floor and stuff like that, and just it was just like this chick is crazy. You know, this chick is crazy. She's twisted. You know, she's deranged. But then, you know, when she was tempting Matt at that time, and you could tell, you know, it was really turning her on. You know, her doing that. Uh, it was
I got
just
a
it
question
was
for the
something.
ladies.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
For Miao Ying and Cressy, do you prefer your characters what they describe as the Lecter being this crazy sadistic person, or you prefer like somebody like Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel, excuse me, with just I'm talking about the Carol Danvers, like the powerful one, the soldier one, or that type as far as female characters go.
I like both.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, why not
It
both?
shows different. All women, aren't the same. You have those women who are freaking nuts, and you have those that are more subdued and, debonair, or not debonair. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they're strong,
Normal
smiley
people.
types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
much, yeah.
if you look at Miao Yin's avatar, that kind of gives it away a little bit.
True.
Yeah, it's very true. Now, getting back to the show, let's talk about Johnny Bernthal. Let's talk about the Punisher. Did he ever bring it? And we pretty much knew this was going to happen, but I think the way he did it, I mean, it was even different than Crazy Shane from The Walking Dead. It was different than that because it was like it was definitely it was almost a controlled rage. I want to say no, not even a controlled rage. It was I'm not gonna really I'm not gonna let anything get in my way ever for no reason whatsoever. You can capture me, you can do whatever you want to me, but I'm gonna get you. It was something else, and just all the twists and turns with Frank Castle, as the story was unfolding, it wasn't quite to me. It wasn't quite the same way. Whereas in season one, they kind of made Kingpin a sympathetic type figure. You didn't feel sympathy for Frank Castle. You could understand his rage. You could understand why he wanted to do a lot of the things that he was doing and why he sought the vengeance. You could understand it. It didn't make you sympathetic because it was just there's no way to really to redeem yourself from a lot of the things that he was doing. Literally, GQ, this was the depiction of the Punisher that you really were waiting for. To be honest, this is what you were waiting for. I mean, yeah, I heard about that god awful Punisher. Which one was it? Punisher. What was that second Punisher movie called? I forget. Warzone.
Warzone was actually good. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
Warzone was good. It was the one with Thomas Jane.
No, it wasn't.
No, that was the one with Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane was in the original, and he also did
no. I'm
short.
saying that's what I'm talking about. The one with Thomas Jane did the worst Punisher movie in my opinion.
Yeah, that one was
the
bad.
worst of the three.
The Ray Stevenson one was good because it was actually following the level of violence that you would expect from a Punisher. It was rated R. It was done right. It was actually a female director on that one, so a lot of people that say guys are too violent. Women exist as violent in that sense.
I don't. To me, what part of makes what the Punisher good to me is not just the level of violence, not even the visceral violence that he displayed, but it was the impassioned rage that he had, and John Bernthal brought that in this series. It was like I don't even know how to describe it really. It was just like in every single situation that he was in, every time he was on the screen, it was just the craziness was just oozing off of this guy.
But if you look back at the Punisher Warzone, it's the exact same thing with Ray Stevenson's depiction of the character. There's a lot of different ways to do rage, and rage isn't always just acting out Wolverine-style berserker rage. You can have rage with somebody that's the calmest person in the room. and it's just when they unleash and when they kill, it's without remorse. So Punisher has always been that type of guy, but at the same time, he has his moments. So
Yeah.
then I think, given the actor that they picked, Marvel hasn't messed up a casting yet.
No.
So given
No,
that
they
the
have
actor
not.
that they picked, they already knew he was going to be good at it.
Right, and he didn't, like I said, he did not disappoint in the very least. He brought it, and let's talk about a bit about someone that Miao Yin doesn't have a lot of favor for. I thought Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page factored in very heavily in this season. She took Karen Page to another level. Whereas in season one, she, like Miao Yin said, she was kind of in the way. She was. Uh, she didn't really matter. It was just like she was an annoyance. This season was a lot different. She kind of really stood on her own 2 feet. She kind of proved herself. She became I don't want to say she was the brains of Nelson and Murdoch, but at the same time, she was the one that was doing like a lot of the digging. She was finding a lot of stuff out, and she was doing it all on her own. It was like she didn't do it with some dude helping her. There was no Ben Urich around. She did it herself, and I was impressed by that. I was really impressed by that, by her acting and by the character. What do you say about that, Kahuna?
Oh yeah, she brought it this season. The first season she was kind of like there. This season, man, she was really getting her private eye on. I mean, she was doing the digging. She played a very big part in this season. So it was pretty good to see. And I knew she was a good actress from True Blood. So, but yeah, to see her get as big as a role as she had this season, and she was doing all the digging. I mean, she was finding out stuff. All her interaction with Punisher. Yeah, she had a really, really, really nice role in this season. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Philip 2.0, what you think?
Ahead of Wow Me.
Same thing. Like I enjoyed her this time around more so than the first season. Like she put on her detective hat and she was really getting in there, and I was really like, damn, she was doing good work. What's she gonna discover? I want to find out. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoyed her this time around.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed her this time around, and of course, Charlie Cox and even Eldon Henson playing Matt Murdock and Foggy Nelson respectively. These two are really good together. Foggy this season, I don't know how to put. I don't want to say he took a step back because he didn't really take a step back.
Foggy whined too much in this season.
He did, man.
Yeah, he did.
But at the same time, you could understand, especially in the beginning of the season when he, the concern he had for his best friend, knowing his dual life now, and you could see it, the sheer look of terror that he had on his face a couple of times when it came to concern Matt this season. You could definitely see it and you could understand it, but at the same time, it was just like, dude, this about him. It's time for you to kind of get off his back. He's a grown man. He can make his own choices. You ain't his dad, or
except
something like
who
that.
he is, yeah.
Right, except who he is, and even Matt, in the trailer, it's like he was saying, he's like, I'm tired of having to explain myself to you, man. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. Get off my back. That's it. So yeah, but
I mean,
Foggy had his moments.
I could see why he was feeling like that though. I mean, he knew Matt for all these years,
right?
And then now to find out that he's this vigilante doing all this crazy stuff, and you can tell he has a genuine concern for his friend's safety and all that. So, but yeah, he did a little too much whining, this and that. But at the same time, I understand too, because in this season you do see Matt kind of put them on the back burner and kind of distance himself from it, especially with some, they're having this major thing with their lawyer thing right now,
right?
And you see Matt distance himself or kind of ignore them. So I can understand that, but he was just a little bit too whiny for me in this one. But still, still a good actor.
Plus, the other thing with that is you always have to have that one character on a show, unfortunately, and especially with him being his business partner. It's like, okay, you're the lead attorney. We need to pay the bills here, and I need to make some money. So
right,
kind of like, if you die, that's kind of my golden ticket, my golden goose, my bread and butter will be gone, and it'll just be and Nelson. It'll just be Nelson and and then
No
that's
one.
it.
Right.
So it's
And
like
absolutely no
dude's
one.
he's trying to make sure he can get his buy his cornflakes and have his breakfast and everything every day. So
Well, but Foggy in this season does have his moment in the sun. I must say, uh, and you could kind of see that if he really wanted to. He
Mhm.
doesn't really need to be under Matt's shadow. He's a more than competent lawyer on his own. He could do it
Right.
on his own if he decided to step away, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay with his
exactly,
best friend. You know.
it's always whether or not the character can accept that they have that ability, or
Hmm.
whether or
Right.
not they're afraid to
Oh
step
yeah,
out on their own.
yeah. There's that
Exactly.
scene with Foggy in the emergency room. He held it down in that scene.
Yeah, he did.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely did show that he can hold his own.
Definitely,
You know,
definitely.
you know the relationship I like is with Daredevil had with Melvin Potter. Gladiator. What's his name?
It's
Yeah,
Stuntman.
Gladiator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gladiator. But
Gladiator. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't really factor in too much in this season.
Well,
I mean,
I know, but it's the fact that I like to have that camaraderie together every time. You
hmm
know, he puts his suit together, whatever,
hmm
and they always. Which he's talking about his wife whenever he
We
would show
protect
her.
each other. We keep each other safe.
Yeah,
hmm
that's true too. I just like the fact that they throw him in there, and you know he possibly could go rogue one day and get pissed off at Daredevil and suit up and ready to get busy, since we know who his history is in the comic books. So it's a possibility somewhere down the road he can be another villain that can just go at it with Daredevil. 'Cause, he's a guy to be reckoned with in the books.
Um. Okay. Let's also talk about some of the action. Obviously, the action has not missed a beat. And in fact, in some respects, it's taken a step up. Uh, Everybody remembers the the hallway scene from season one, episode two, was probably one of the best martial arts sequences in American filmmaking we've ever seen. Um, they did that again this year, to one step further, but they also gave us another hallway scene on top of that one. So we got two hallway scenes this season. I got to see
Mhm.
both of them. Philip 2.0 got to see both of them, and Kahuna got to see both of them. Miao Yin, you're in for a treat when you get that far. In fact, you're almost there right now for the first stairway scene. You're
Yeah.
almost there already, so look forward to that. But guys, talk about the action, man. What'd you think?
Well, I was
That
just
was
waiting. I was
incredible.
waiting for like I knew there was going to be another hallway because I mean they even said it in the on websites. They said that there's going to be another hallway scene which knocks part season one out the water, and which it did, and it was really exciting to see that, and the fact that they shot it like almost like a one take.
Hmm.
That's what makes the hallway scene even better
Hmm.
because they shoot it like it's a one take scene. So yeah, that was an
That
awesome
was
scene. I watched that
that was
like
dope.
twice. I had to rewind it after it was over.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I was like, I think that was a bit longer than the first hallway scene in the first season. Like he was really
Oh
getting
yeah,
down
yeah.
in that.
Because
Yeah,
because it took place in a hallway and a stairwell.
right.
But what
And
I-
the
what
funny
I
thing,
what I love about love about the Daredevil series is that in the fight scenes you literally see him get tired. Most movies, these people they fight forever,
Hmm.
just like the people who have guns and they shoot forever. And you never see them reload.
Mhm.
In Daredevil, the fight scenes, you see him get really exhausted and have to like take a
uh
time out real quick. You even see
Exactly.
his fighting. You see his fighting skills kind of deplete a little bit. Also because he's getting so exhausted. So that's another thing I love about Daredevil.
Well,
Well,
yeah, and
I'll give
that's.
them definite props for that though, because most movies won't take fatigue into account. They'll
Hmm.
take
uh
15, 16 blows to the head, and you're
Hmm.
still fine. And it's like average person would have been done,
Hmm.
right.
at that point. So yeah,
Well,
I do like that they do that.
yeah, and I think that's another reason why, and it's a good thing that Megatron isn't here to talk about it, but I think that's another reason why the Nolan Batman movies worked so well too, is because Batman would actually get tired. He would look like he would get fatigued, and it was just more real. And they brought that same type of gritty realism to the Daredevil series, and you're always
Well,
seeing
hold
him.
on now.
What?
Going back to wait, whoa, I mean, which Nolan Batman are you talking about? If you're talking about Dark Knight Rises, then sure. because he was obviously tired and fatigued the moment he started fighting Bane.
Right.
But I didn't see very much fatigue on him in Batman Begins and Dark Knight.
I hated Batman Begins.
Well, in Batman Begins, as far as the fatigue, just him being, disoriented from the fear gas, and
That
having
doesn't
to.
count. That's
Yeah, but
under the
okay.
influence.
Well, then even still, we're talking about. I mean, yeah, for the most part in Batman Begins, you're right. It didn't happen. In the Dark Knight, didn't really happen either. Even though it just seemed like it was an insurmountable amount of things that he had to deal with. So
No, it was just Joker was outsmarting him.
well,
Batman,
again,
honestly, if you look back at the first two films, his fight scenes in the first ones were very close up. It was very erratic. It was shot that way to kind of give you that feeling of chaos. And then you get to the third one, and he's brawling on the street and brawling with Bane, which he should have been actually using some of his martial arts abilities to fight Bane.
yeah, let's not
And
talk
threw a
about
couple kicks.
how bad that was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I give you fatigue all day long on the third one because you could, see he was physically tired. Like, wow, this guy's taking everything I'm throwing at him, and he doesn't even care. So
I think it was an afterthought.
Well,
But
yeah,
what
exactly.
about the third one though? Forget fatigue. I mean, it looked like he literally just forgot everything he learned at the League
Exactly.
of Shadows. Like,
Exactly.
dude, he just went straight street fighting, and I won't even call it street fighting.
Yeah,
I mean, it was.
He
Emo
was
says.
trying to brawl.
Well, Emo says.
Yeah.
Emo's in the chat says that the scene in the car parking lot when right before he jumped on the van, he was breathing heavy, and I think I kind of remember that. I mean, it was the scene where he had to deal with the dogs. We had to deal with the dogs and all the guys.
He got mauled. He got mauled by a dog. He wasn't fatigued. He was like, okay, I'm losing blood right now.
Right.
That's what that
I'm
was.
not wearing
I
hockey
understand
pads.
I'm not wearing hockey
Right,
pads.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I understand you might think that was definitely a fatigue moment, but I mean, the Batmobile did quite a bit of the work before he even got there. He beat a couple guys up and then shot a couple gadgets around and then jumped on the van. But he was more, wow, I just got mauled and jumped on by a dog and had to throw him off with me. So I think that's kind of what I understand where he's coming from. It might seem like fatigue, but no, your Daredevil definitely is the first time that they've actually added that into an action scene, and I'll give them all sorts of applause for that because I'm still in episode 0.
Yeah. So yeah, we know, we know, and we know you're still waiting for the pristine experience of buying it on Blu-ray / DVD if they, whenever they come out.
Yeah,
With
what
it.
is that about?
Here's how that's probably going to go. Because if you look back at the release dates, or not dates, but the release schedules for Orange is the New Black and House of Cards, both of those were about a year after they premiered. So now that Daredevil's on season 2, I mean, it's probably almost a year since the original one came out.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. But and you would think that you would think that they would have announced something already, man. I mean, that was one of the bigger TV shows of last year. You think they would be jumping at the chance to release that and gain a little bit more cash.
No. The easiest way for them to do it, and this is Marvel we're talking about, so it's chess, not checkers. The easiest way is wait. Seriously, because you notice how there's lulls in when they decide they're going to put stuff out. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back. What happened like a couple days later? We get the Captain America Civil War trailer. They didn't have to announce that movie. Everybody knows it's coming. But they also did it because they basically took quite a bit of attention away from an upcoming Batman Superman, which is literally next week. So it's like, oh yeah, there's a Batman Superman movie coming out. After you saw that trailer, that was the last thing on your mind.
Pretty much.
So
pretty much, they pretty much stole all their thunder.
Yeah, exactly. So the next lull is going to be right before Civil War. Daredevil might drop, or they might, because they're not dropping any more Civil War trailers. I can almost guarantee that they don't need to.
Yeah,
they don't need to. So they're going to let Civil War come out, let the excitement and the rush, and probably a couple weeks later, you're going to hear about Daredevil season 1 on Blu-ray. It's a marketing pattern. You keep Marvel in people's minds and in their mouths, and you keep them talking about your product because you're constantly hitting them with it. Right when they think they got a break, here comes the next Marvel offering. And they've been doing it since Avengers.
Well, we urge you guys, if you haven't seen all of Daredevil season 2, we hope that you are going to take this entire weekend and binge it all. Krusty is away, is AFK right now, but hopefully she'll take this entire weekend and binge both season 1 and season 2. It's a daunting task, but we know she's up for it. And I definitely would do it. In fact, I had started season 1
I don't
over
think she's
again.
away from. I don't think she's completely away from K. She's probably in the kitchen.
Yeah, maybe.
So she's at a different K.
She might be burning some more greens this time.
No.
Maybe she's burning some more greens this time. But really, we urge you guys to go and see season 2 post haste. You really got to see it. It is worth your time. So it's about 11 o'clock, but since it's Friday, we can go a little bit extra. What anything random y'all want to talk about? Bring up, kind of just get off your chest, rant about anything. Let's go ahead and do it.
Street Fighter V better have its update next week because they're running out of March to
They really are.
For.
And, honestly, to be perfectly honest, I have no drive, no desire really to play that game right now. I mean, seriously.
Well, the crazy thing is, I went and bought the the second combat pack for Mortal Kombat X, and that essentially once you get that, that's everything that you get for the retail release for XL. Because you have about a 10 gig update that essentially turns your copy into XL.
Wow, 10 gig update. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like if you didn't buy Mortal Kombat 10, sure, go get the XL version because that's essentially the Game of the Year edition. But all I did is I added another $20 and got everything in there, all the skins, all the the 4 new characters, everything. So it was worth the money. It's definitely better than buying it again because I already have it.
Exactly. Is there anything else anybody wants to get off their chest? Just kind of get random and get into that we kind of didn't talk about earlier this week.
I don't know, man.
Well, we were talking about Telltale earlier, and we were talking about Batman and all that kind of stuff. But the next one that I'm actually going to get and play, which a lot of people, I guess, aren't interested in, but it's a Walking Dead Michonne. And I just feel like it's awesome that you can play the backstory of Michonne and all that stuff.